It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce Senior Chief Bretz, Officer in Charge, Coast Guard Station Bodega Bay.
This place crew at ease.
Station Company, Lieutenant Hutt, at ease.
All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you very much, Captain, for those kind words. Thanks to everybody for coming out today and supporting the crew here and really supporting our partnership within the community. It really means a lot to me to see as many people here that have come out, and this community has really meant so much to me since I've been here, particularly the way that it's going to be tough for me today, so you can just bear with me for a little bit. I get pretty emotionally invested in what I do, and it's kind of normal for me, but so if you don't like seeing a grown man cry, you might want to hit the chow line right now. It's the way it is. Especially Bodega Bay Fire, Sonoma County Sheriff, state lifeguards who are huge here, National Park Service, CHP, Cal Fire, Department of Fish and Wildlife, regional parks. I mean, you take the context of this award here. I wasn't down there doing that on that particular day. I came into the station like I usually do, and I kind of watch over the Coast Guard response around here, but I don't do that stuff. It's Marin County Water Rescue, it's Marin County Fire, the National Park Service at Point Reyes, Henry 1. That's who responded on that case, as well as the Coast Guard, of course. But, you know, usually people in a position like this, if you got your head screwed on straight, you'll usually point out how humbling it makes you feel. If you can just take a look at the cover of your program for me real quick. There's a picture there of that's a lifeboat crew pulling across the Coquille River Bar in about 1895, and this kind of demonstrates to you how I view a team. If you look at that crew, there's a guy standing at the back, and he's got his arms kind of up. He has the steering oar, and so he looks different than everybody else. He's doing something different than everybody else. He's steering the boat. He's commanding the crew there, but and usually if you ask people who's the most important person there, they'll say, well, it's that guy. But if it takes the whole boat crew 100% of their effort to get through the next break that's coming at them, just imagine what happens if one of them falls off an oar. They're not going to make it, you know. So who's the most important person in that boat crew at that point? It's the person that fell off the oar, and getting them back on the oar is the most important thing in the world. So it's not really the person in charge who's the most important. Maybe sometimes, but it revolves all the time. You know, and we had a case a couple years ago out here. Fishing vessel Yardbird called in out by the approach buoy and said he was taking on water and he didn't think he was going to make it in, and he was heading for the beach. We launched our lifeboat. They got on scene, and it was definitely not good. The boat was definitely going to roll over. It was made of fiberglass, so it wasn't going to sink. So the boat crew got on scene, they got the crewmen to get off of it, and the captain kind of paused in the pilot house. And water was up to his waist, and he was a bit confused, and they got him to get off, he started to turn and go back inside, and they got him to get off the boat. But he was right alongside of it where it was going to roll over on top of him. And Fireman Jacob Smith got him a boat hook and pulled him out from under it right before it came down on top of him. And, you know, who's the most important person there? It's not me. It's Fireman Smith, the most junior person on that crew, acting of his own initiative, on his own, doing what was right. Nobody told him to do it. The coxswain didn't even have time to tell him to get a boat hook out to him. He just did what needed to get done. You know, a couple years ago, we had a 12-year-old boy washed off for Wrights Beach. 3 people, his father went after him, and then another lady who was on the beach that saw it happen, she went in the water after the 2 of them. Tim Murphy, state lifeguard, got on scene first, and he got out there, and kept those people afloat for 40 minutes in 48-degree water. And I can tell you from experience that usually you don't last more than 10 minutes in those kind of temperatures. It's not hypothermia that kills people. It's the exhaustion and the cold, and it gets to them, and they drown. He kept them alive for 40 minutes until we got our boat on scene and got them out of the water. Henry 1 showed up and got those people off and got them to Bodega Bay Fire sitting on the beach. And they said that they didn't really wake up and really come to until they got all the way over to Sebastopol. So in that particular instance, that's the state park's lifeguard. That's the most important person, I think, on that particular case. Henry 1 had a huge hand, and I don't think they would have made it all the way back here. But you know, it's a partnership, and it really is. So you get into a spot like this where everybody's saying how good of a job I did. And it's a stark reminder that really, you know, there's 30 of us. I'm one of them. It's 1/30th. That's what I am of the overall effort here. And, you know, and it's difficult running a crew like this. It's difficult being in a crew like this because you got 30 individuals from all over the place with 30 outlooks and 30 opinions and 30 different, you know, perspectives. Some people get along like peas in a pod. Some people like oil and water. But at the end of the day, these people chose to identify themselves as a unit first and foremost, and they jumped on board with it, and that's what we are. We are stationed in Bodega Bay, and we work together. They did it better than any other group I've ever worked with before. I'm gonna miss them. All right, got through that part. So, I need to thank God. I need to thank my wife for running our family. Thanks for giving those flowers to her. And welcome to Senior Chief Slade, who, those who know me best know that I'm from the state of Ohio, and that's extremely important to me, and the Buckeyes are more important than anything else there. And Senior Chief Slade comes to us originally from Middletown, Ohio. So there will still be scarlet and gray in the officer in charge office. I know. But he's a very experienced surfman, and he's going to, with this crew, they're going to continue on improvement and making this place a better unit and serving the community as well as they always have.